Today I'll be playing the demo for Dream Spectra, which is a visual novel where you're on a date with your crush, but you're having weird headaches and there's some surreal 3D rendered backgrounds. Do keep in mind that I'm testing out a really scuffed dual PC setup because my gaming laptop recently died, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, so hopefully it's not too bad. I run, my heart pounding. It's a stream again, and I know it isn't real, but I feel like I've lost control of my body. I lean against the doorway and try to catch my breath for a second, and a natural palpitating feeling in my chest. Closing my eyes, I try to center myself just a little bit. Many swears. I hate these things. I turn around to try to get away, but they're everywhere. Every room I turn to just has more and more. They twitch and I can see their pupils focusing down the pinpoints. Swearing again. Running, I can still feel them watching my back. I see a glow emitting down the hallway and sprint for it. It opens to the ocean and a large gem, faces reflecting unnaturally onto the surroundings. It has a mesmerizing quality, like watching the caustic reflections dancing around a swimming pool. My vision starts to blur in the corners and I realize everything has started to sway. My hand gropes for my phone and I slam down on the alarm button. Everything is spinning. I'm too warm, my head hurts and everything is blurry. I focus and remember that I'm in my bed and everything is fine. The pounding in my heart starts to calm down and I swallow the lump in my throat. Sitting up, I throw off my covers to try and cool down. Why? Reaching over, I check my phone. It's still good for later? Says Sam, heart. Yeah, of course. Looking forward to seeing you. Smiley face. A sense of unreality descends on me. My date? I've got an hour to get ready and catch the bus and I'm drenched in sweat and my head aches. Standing up, I start wildly looking around for my clothes. I step towards. Swearing again. Ow! I slam my toe into the corner of my nightstand and start hobbling on one foot over to the bathroom. Having showered and thrown on my clothes, I start to feel like I'm missing something. Phone, earphones, bag. Her necklace. I'd found it at a charity shop and thought it would be perfect for her. She normally wears a chain and I figured she liked the blue gemstone. It should be tucked away in my bedside table. Now though, it wasn't there. Is it in my tote? No. My wardrobe? No. My desk? No. Desperately, I checked the time on my phone. I've got 5 minutes to run to the bus. As I shove it back in my pocket, despairingly, I feel something click against the metal. I lift up my hand and... What? The necklace was there in my pocket. I was certain it had been on my nightstand. I was certain I hadn't been wearing these trousers when I bought it either. No time to think about it, I put it back in my pocket, sprinting out of the bedroom. Worst date. I scan across the shopping center looking for Sam. I can't spot her anywhere, and she hasn't texted me since earlier. Maybe I missed her. She's probably sitting down somewhere obvious, laughing at me while I trapeze around. That, or she isn't showing up. Sorry, nearly there. Had to run back for my wallet. No problem, I'm by the bookshop. Sam Hart likes guitars, and I guess we like the middle of the desert or something. What is that picture? I can't tell. I try to sigh, but there's something filling up my lungs where the air should be. I always get like this before I see her. The sudden urge to leave hits me, but I try to calm it by sitting down. If I can just distract myself by scrolling through my phone, maybe I'll be fine. I feel a little weird being in public like this, and I'm realizing how much of a hermit I've become. Definitely feels like people are staring, but I'm sure it's a normal amount of time to look at another person. I hope so. I mindlessly open my messages, rereading Sam's texts. Hey, sorry for taking so long. She looks a little disheveled, a light blush coloring her complexion. I get the sudden urge to tuck a stray hair behind her ear, but I shake my head, as if to banish the thought. No problem, it's really nice to see you. She leans forward and wraps me in an enthusiastic hug, her thick flannel enveloping me in warmth. I was, starting to get a little worried you wouldn't show up. Oh man, I really am sorry. It's fine. Don't worry, I was nearly late too. I had to run for the bus. She releases me from the hug and steps back, tucking a stray piece of shirt back into her trousers. Well, what do you want to do first? I was thinking about checking out the new comic book place. That sounds good. I want to check out the bookstore as well. Should we go there first because it's right here? Of course. Oh man, they've got the volume I need. Why does this look like a Barnes & Noble's? It's not just me, right? Although maybe it isn't the Barnes & Noble's. I don't know if I've seen signs at Barnes & Noble's, like the ones at the top left. I don't know if I've seen those before. Maybe bookstores just look like this. Oh man, they've got the volume I need. She holds up a thick orange volume of a series I haven't heard of before with some kind of bird doodle on the cover. Have I told you about the series before? I can't remember. I don't think so. Is it the horror series you were telling me about? No, it's a coming of age thing. It's actually crazy depressing. Oh no, it's the one that's like, it's the one with the bird that's actually just a teenager or something. Pretty sure this is Oyasumi Pun Pun. In English it's Good Night Pun Pun. I haven't read it. It's a manga series, I think. It's really good though. It captures the main character's isolation as he grows up. People tend to get caught up on the art style, but I think it's an interesting choice. It separates his family from everyone else. She flips through a couple pages as to show me something, but catches herself and looks back at me. I won't rant at you forever anyway. It's just one of my favorites at the moment. I actually love whenever she tells me about the thing she's obsessed with. Seeing her get so passionate about something is nice. Also, it means I don't have to think about what to say for a few minutes. I don't mind, it does sound interesting, so I can offload my social anxiety to someone else. I think about picking up a copy, but I'm a little skint at the minute. Never mind. What did you want to pop in here for? Oh, I was just going to look for some new paperback editions of this weird fiction collection I saw online. Weird fiction? Oh, it's a... I go still as I try to turn my thoughts into some kind of adequate description. It's typically a blend of horror, science fiction, and supernatural stuff. I don't know how to explain. I don't completely remember if I'm getting this correct. I don't know if I'm getting this correct or not. But I'm pretty sure the Kufalos mythos was involved with... It was partially... There were some short stories that were part of it that were in a weird fiction magazine. So I feel like it's mainly sort of urban, supernatural, cultist kind of stuff-ish. I don't know. I grasp for an example. Like Lovecraft. There it is. Oh yeah, that's cool. I move towards the science fiction section of the store and scan around for purple spines. Sam shuffles past a kid to look at the horror section, a rare look of focus on her face. Bright orange lettering on black catches my eye, and I recognize it as a fantasy series I read a couple of years back. I pick pick it up and reminisce as I remember how much I enjoyed it. It basically consumed my life for a few months. The cover art is a little corny, but the main character depicted on it does kind of remind me of Sam, now that I think about it. What you looking at? Oh, it's a fantasy series I used to love. I try to angle the cover away from her, but she's already peeking over my shoulder. It's got a woman with a sword on the front. I'm not surprised you like it. Listen, I don't love the cover, but you have to trust me, it's surprisingly good. The second novel gets crazy, and I think it has my favorite characters maybe ever. They're all distinct and kind of awful. And it's one of the first queer things I read. Sam's eyebrows go up and she gets a mischievous look in her eye. Oh yeah, that makes even more sense. Should I buy a sword? Unfortunately, I don't think I would be posing like that. The atmosphere in the store is suddenly completely unbearable, and I'm thinking very hard about my facial expression. Hey, you're the worst. I get it. Well, if I'm gonna try to embarrass you, I may as well embarrass myself back. She spins around and marches over to the kids' fantasy section, kneels, and pulls out a thick red tome. Found it. I fiddle with my hair while she waltzes back over triumphantly, conscious that we're talking about this in a public place. I don't think I've seen this series before. Yeah, I don't think many kids read it honestly, but my school library had it. I used to rent this series out over and over again, but I didn't like the later books at all. Oh, why? You just grow out of it? Nah, I just had this girl character in it who I love, but she starts a romance plot in the later books with this idiot guy that just existed to make jokes. I hate that kind of character. Exactly. As a kid, I just thought I hated romance stuff, but eventually it started to come together. I found her so relatable, but I couldn't understand why she would want a boyfriend at all. Makes sense now, though. I had a similar feeling with a few games growing up. I guess that's just what happened when you grow up lesbian. Sam laughs a little and moves to put the book back in the trifle place, but I hear a disgruntled cough next to me. An older man browsing the side table next to us is glaring right at me, not saying anything. And the question is it because we're talking in a bookstore, or is it because he's kind of a jerk? He shakes his head at me and loudly shuffles away, coughing. It takes a minute for my brain to catch up and I blink at the empty space he was just standing in. Man, I wish I had more time to read chill stuff while working on my degree. We get so much assigned reading, you have no idea. Doesn't seem like Sam saw him, and she's as outwardly cheerful as ever. Yeah. I want to grab something to eat. I think we're both feeling a little starved. I should have eaten breakfast. Okay, sure. That sounds good to me. That sounded as forced as it was. I hope she didn't notice. Just, give me a second. I half run, half walk over to the manga section and pick up the first volume of the manga series she was telling me about, determined to forget the old man. There's no way he overheard us and reacted like that. Surely this guy isn't, opposed to women being with one, right? He's ancient, it's probably just his resting old person face. Old people love to stare. I'm sure they do. I pay in the days and find myself back in the shopping center, Sam curiously surveying the nearby stalls and store entrances. Seems a lot of them have closed up since I was last here, one of the last standing plastered in closing sale signs. I'm feeling like something warm. Maybe we go to the cafe on the high street? There's also a new burger place nearby, called Champ or Champion or whatever. Basically anything sounds great with how starving I am. I'm reminded of the food court nearby with a boba place and bakery, and am filled with the urge to try basically everything. I really don't know what I want. What you feeling? Choices. Choices which I will save at. I see we only have 4 slots. I understand this. I also feel like these are a little bit misaligned, but what do I know? I'm gonna pick... Okay, so we have actual food items here. We have a drink, but this is not really an actual food item. Well, it offers actual food items, but it's also an actual place. Well, what did she say again? What you feeling? I'm gonna pick this because it has the most choices. Hell yeah. It's Abby's favorite. She'd be jealous if she knew. Just eating a whole cafe. I'll have to send her a picture of us eating there then. Laughing, we walk through the shopping center and out onto the high street. It's a little chilly outside and it makes me glad I'm snuggled into my jumper. We're always cold. You're always warm. I don't get it. Maybe you're just a weakling. She smirks at me as I shiver a little. I would offer a jacket if I had one, but if that jumper isn't helping, I'm not sure I can. It's alright. Just gotta get something warm to eat. Snuggle for body warmth. I'm just kidding. We finally arrived at the cafe and I'm happy to be hit by the warm gust of air in the doorway. As we queue for the counter, I can see her staring at a donut inside the glass case. Going for something sweet? Nah, I'll just get a sausage roll or something. Her eyes flick back to it again, but when she orders, she just gets her a roll and some hot chocolate. I ordered the same, but I figured 2 donuts couldn't hurt. She's sitting in a booth by the wall, and I move to join her. Here, I could see you gawping. Shouldn't it be gawking? I don't know. At it. I hold out the donut and her eyebrows shoot up. You shouldn't have. Well, I guess I could always eat 2 donuts. I sit down and pretend I'm about to take a huge bite. Hey! She jokingly swipes at it, but I lurch away and she dives for it again. Something hot splashes across my leg and I hear something clatter onto the floor. Appropriate reaction. Sam wobbles back into her seat and I look down to see her hot chocolate covering the table, my leg, and the floor. This is why you shouldn't be playing with your food in public, because it's gonna be really embarrassing. Oof, it's alright, don't worry. I'm so sorry, let me go get some paper. She rapidly looks left and right before running off to the bathroom. Once I'm cleaned up, she slumps back into her chair. Nice one, me. It's my fault for teasing you anyway. I'm just so clumsy. I do this every time. Hey, it's something to remember. I still have 2 donuts and a hot chocolate to share. She smiles and I catch a look I can't describe in her eyes. We finish our food in companionable silence. Settled into the comfortable atmosphere, Sam reaches across the table and holds my hand. I stop breathing for a second and try to mask my surprise by taking a sip of my drink. No, we haven't been down here in a while. Yeah, it's really nice to hang out here again. Since everyone moved out of student housing, it feels a little scattered. Reminds me of when we kept coming down to the beach in the summer of first year. I remember the anxiety of the first time we all went swimming together, fading into joy as we splashed around and played volleyball. It was the first summer I remember really enjoying. I think it's when I really started to like her. Oh yeah, remember when you accidentally hit Lee? Yeah, he threw seaweed at me for the rest of the day. His shorts fell off in the ocean though, so I won. I laugh, but I'm laser focused on the feeling of her thumb stroking the back of my hand. My hearing has hollowed out and I suddenly become aware of everyone around us. There's a family seated behind us and all I can think of is their stare on the back of my head. Sam is happily chattering away about other summer stories. My mouth is dry, so I take a bigger gulp of my drink and try to breathe normally. My hands must be sweating. A group of teenagers are idling loudly near us, and they make me think of high school locker rooms and yelled insults and quick laughter. I think of the older guy in the bookstore, his stare. You okay? Fine, thanks. I'm gonna go find the bathroom. I move to take another sip of my drink, but a headache has formed at the base of my skull and it grows rapidly as I move. Ah, God. You really sure you're alright? It's just a headache, I'm okay. I stand up, chair scraping loudly against the floor. My vision briefly goes black, but as I breathe, it fades back in slowly. I try to step away from the table, but I don't feel in control of my legs. Okay, you're really not alright. Sam stands up and goes to move towards me, but a sudden pressure fills my head before I can speak. My knee catches against a corner and I nearly fall. She moves in blurry slow motion towards me as it increases. Consciousness comes back to me slowly, the feeling of hard stone digging into my back. At first I just lie there, enjoying not having to operate any of my faculties. The floor feels cold, unnaturally so, but the feeling of it seems to be lessening my headache, so it barely registers as strange. Then, all at once, I remember what happened. I bolt upward, eyes opening to take in my surroundings. I know where I am. I'm in that god-forsaken dream again. Ugh, really? This mostly just strikes me as irritating, until I remember that I did not fall asleep in my bed. I was just outside on a date. I pinch myself as hard as possible, but that mostly just flares up the pressure in my temples again. I hope the whole date experience I had leading up to this was some kind of elaborate dream within a dream, because the possibility that I just passed out in public is not very comforting to me right now. Trying to ignore the implications of that, I turn my attention back towards the room. It seems like there's nothing else for me to do but explore this strange stone labyrinth again. Now get to move around. I'd like to save. I'd like to save, thank you. Look at the floor. Focusing on the floor, I can't help but notice how incongruous it seems with the rest of the building. What do you mean? It looks perfectly fine. The cracked ceramic is familiar, but it doesn't exactly make the place feel more welcoming. Look outside. I approach the window cut into the stone room, purplish light pouring in from the sky. The water seems to stretch on forever, interrupted by only small swaths of landscape jutting up from the current. It looks peaceful and deep. I wish I could lie in it and just float for a while. I can see the labyrinth stretching on, floating above the sea. Nothing to do but press on. Sure. Sand. A large pile of sand lies in the corner of the room, particles clustering in the gaps between tiles. I dig my hands into it, finding it to have a surprising warmth. As it trickles through my fingers, my thoughts go to the beach. God, it would be nice to be there right now. This room has another opening, leading out into the landscape, showing a very similar view to the other. Looking closer at the sea, I notice that the ripples across the surface aren't actually moving. They're just there to be trippy. Time doesn't move the same way here, it seems. Thick, yellowish bars block the way into the next room. It's hard to see anything behind them other than more gray stones and checkered flooring. Very useful. This is a Tesla coil. A spiral curls up to the ceiling, the deep blue structure glinting despite the dimness. The orb atop it sways gently, the perfectly smooth surface calling out to be touched. Reaching out to it, an electric pulse dances up my fingertips and shoots up my shoulder. I shiver and try to shake it out, but the lingering feeling isn't unpleasant. Something about the atmosphere feels changed. Stare at it again. Oops. Did nothing. Oh, that just turned it off. Stepping through the doorway, I find myself in another great cube with one pathway leading out of it. I turn to look at the walls properly, wondering if there's something in here I haven't noticed. A small flickering starts in the center of the room, white light flashing in my vision. It's some kind of weird creature. It forms into a shape I know well, an angry scotoma skittering and twitching in my view. I finally tear my eyes away from it, but it's too late and it has multiplied across my vision. I blink and it stays. There's an intense pressure in my head, the room is too bright, my head is filled with fuzz. I'm aware of it there, still, watching me. The burning becomes too much and I run. The doorway leads into a thin corridor, stairs leading into darkness. I take them two at a time, running hard to try and distract from the pulsing migraine. I feel something around my legs, cold, wet. I'm distinctly aware that there is water pooling around me, but I'm at the last step and in another doorway. I sink down to my knees the second I enter, coldness penetrating through my trousers. The water is so cold, but any distraction from my head feels perfect. The pressure has escalated to a throbbing pulse, the pain intensifying to the point where it hurts too much to think. I close my eyes and dunk my head under the water. I trace my fingers over the grout between the floor tiles, focusing on the physical world. The feeling of wet denim pressed against my leg, the contrasting roughness and smoothness of the floor, a deep cold surrounding me. This brief respite stops the migraine from pressing against my skull so harshly, the scotoma's menacing presence slightly faded. This doesn't last, though. I surface, breathing hard. It dawns on me that none of these feelings are real. I'm not here. I'm passed out on the floor of the shopping center having some kind of fit. There must be people gawking at me, crowds forming. Am I in an ambulance yet? Or just sat on the floor in some kind of coma? I can feel the gaze of Sam, of the bystanders, of the old man in the bookstore. I'm being watched. I'm always being watched. And there's nothing I can do. I can't even get up because I'm stuck here. Breathe. I need to breathe. Laying my head back against the wall, I close my eyes. The scotoma is still watching me. I can't escape from it either. I have to stop focusing on it, flickering, staring, twitching. It's not here. I'm not here. The pain in my head is back, throbbing dangerously, and I can feel goosebumps forming on my legs from the cold. There's nothing to do but open my eyes and keep moving. I stand up sharply, rushing towards the open door. I could see them turning to face me, the water sloshing around my ankles, slowing me down. I can feel the pupils focused on me as I run down the corridor, swerving to get around a corner. My legs are so tired, but I need to get away. Stop watching me, just stop watching me! Eventually, the hallway opens up into another room and I stumble to a stop. I can see more of them to the right, continuing to stare. I can't bear to look at them any longer. I need to find a way out. Choices. The floor tiles are warped underneath the water, scraping against my heavy shoes. It would feel good to sit and rest against them, but my migraine isn't going anywhere. The windows here are now large enough that I could easily fit through them. I glance over the edge and realize something feels wrong. Where would I expect to feel a breeze? I realize the air is stagnant. Nothing ruffles through my hair or chills me through my wet clothes. Artificiality startles me and I stumble back to the center. Lurching towards the doorway, I see their pupils refocusing. I could feel anger in their gazes, intense watchfulness, guarding disgust. I turn around and heave against the wall, but nothing comes up. Hands. Marble hands reach up from the floor, grasping at the ceiling. I reach up to caress the lone hand reaching down, but I can only reach it with my fingertips. I feel a sense of calm here. The unreality of this display is too strange to evoke more fear. The walls seem to be almost throbbing in time with my migraine. I feel like I'm in some kind of organ, heart pumping in time with dull pain. I'm too afraid to reach out and touch it. More artificial landscapes dot the horizon, dipping in and out of the waves. There's no life to be seen on them. The water runs over the edge, forming a hard wall at the edge of the tiles. It doesn't flow into a waterfall, it just holds there. The current tugs at my jeans, pulling me closer. It would be so tempting to simply follow it down, but I know I can't. This world is stagnant. The water makes no sound, the air doesn't form into a breeze, and it stretches on forever. There's nothing for me here. Just walk back around, I guess? I guess we can go there now. A panic has risen in me again, realizing there's nothing to find. The only way I can think of to get out is through this door. Seeing them again, watching and waiting, causes bile to rise in my stomach, but I try to tamp it down to think. I need to get back to Sam. I need to get out of here. Their gaze burns, but isn't real. I need to remember that it isn't real. I can watch all at once, but they aren't doing anything. They see me regardless. I can't hide and I can't escape unless I face them. My legs start moving before my mind catches up. Suddenly, I'm there. Their pupils focusing into pinpoints to watch me. They feel so furious, but they just watch. I'm nearly there. Nearly there. They twitch so hatefully that I know I need to brace myself, getting ready to flinch, but nothing happens. I am through. I can still feel them behind me, but they can do nothing. A large gem stands before me, all the light and beauty of the alien landscape paling in comparison. I take one more step towards it and my vision swims and the light rushes in. Everything aches and I can feel my thoughts moving like trickle. I can hear someone talking to me, but it feels unimportant and far away. Slowly, I blink and the blur fades. Holy shoot, you okay? Yeah, I realize I'm leaning on her and I will my legs to support themselves. What happened just there? Just a blood pressure thing, I think. I need to take some iron tablets or something. She does not look incredibly convinced. It was only for a couple of seconds, but I've never seen you do something like that. Maybe you caught something? Yeah, maybe. I fully straighten up and sit back in my chair. I miss the feeling of her hand on my shoulder immediately. I'm gonna order you a taxi. No, I'm fine. Just give me a second. Come on, don't worry about it. I'll see you tomorrow for the house party if you're feeling better anyway. We haven't even gone to the comic store yet. I know you were excited to go. Can't have you collapsing on the way. Seriously, there'll be other chances. I notice the family staring at me from across the room. Their stares don't feel like anything. I lean forward and grasp Sam's hand again. Thanks. It's alright. Wasn't just gonna let you fall over. This disaster of a date has successfully distracted from my feeling of mortal peril over whatever I just experienced. I sit in a daze as Sam fusses over me while we wait, and before I know it, I'm inside the taxi. See ya. Make sure you actually rest, okay? Will do. I'll message you when I get back. Christ. I'm so used to talking to my family that I nearly just said I love you at the end of our first actual date. Alrighty, bye. The door closes and I give the taxi man my address and close my eyes. I'm not remotely in the right emotional state to think about this. As I sit there and breathe, I feel something warm inside my pocket. I pluck it out and see. I forgot to give Sam the necklace I got for her. Frustrated with myself, I turn it over in my hands before my mind catches up. Wait, why is it hot? It isn't just I left it in my pocket too long. Warm, it feels like it's been baking in the sun. As I look closer at it, I realize it looks different. It had been blue with yellow speckles, but the pattern seems to have spread further across the gemstone. The jagged boundaries give the impression of the yellow exploding out of a shell of deep blue. It's beautiful. Transfixed, I don't notice I'm at home until the taxi man calls out a third time. I pay him, stumble out, and get out my phone. Just got home, thanks for hanging out with me. No prob. Make sure you sleep, nerd. I'm a little worried about you, not gonna lie. I promise I'm fine. I'll probably have a nap though. Bed, bed, bed. With that, I stumble into my room, throw off my clothes, climb into bed, and am so exhausted I can't think about how embarrassing I've been before I fall asleep. Wow. It ended about where I thought it would end. Now, obviously, I'm a little more interested in the weird supernatural world, migraine world thing than I am in the actual romance part of this. But I guess it does seem pretty interesting. Who knows where this is going? But clearly the crystal is somehow related to getting sucked into a weird nightmare world. There's just not enough information to work off of there to figure out what the heck that's about. That's what I think about it. There's not much else I can say about it. Thank you for watching. I hope the graphics, the graphics quality wasn't too bad. Like I said, my computer kind of died, so this is something I'm gonna have to work with for a while until I get an actual PC or something. So I just really hope it's not that bad. Yep, thank you for watching once again.